on the northern reaches of dawn, nestled in the cold embrace of the Hadrian Mountains, Caledonia, home of the largest tessium deposits on the planet, home of a harsh, fierce people with a great respect for the old ways, and home to the bloodlusted battle cry of the Caledonian Highlander Army. The Caledonian Highlander Army are like most Ariadnan armies in that, for the most part, they're glass cannons, but to the extreme. Caledonia is at its best on the offensive, forever charging forward to freedom. So excited to go over Caledonia. This was my very first army that I ever got. I love them. They have so much character. They've got such great lore. The models look great. Everything about Caledonia is just so me and so amazing. We're going to go a little bit out of order today, going over the sectorial as a whole, as in we're going to start out with the characters because they're really what tie the army all together and gives it that big punch. And we can't start talking about the characters at all without going over first the big man himself, William Wallace. Oh, William Wallace is so good. So amazingly good. He's the only Ariadnan with a cube, first of all. So you can get rerolls with your doctors, which is fantastic. He is regular, warband, with 6'4 movement, 24 CC, 13 BS, 14 Fizz, 15 Whip, 3 armor, no BTS, and 1 wound. He's got a CC attack of +1 damage, so if you do hit, it's 15 damage. Berserk +3, remembering going over Berserk, using an entire order, using his both movement, so 10 inches, hitting on 27s. He's got courage, he's got dodge +2 inches, which means he will not slow down. MSV and smoke won't work. He's going to move the 6 inches, wait for AROs, and if he makes the dodge, he's going to move the 2 inches, but he's dodging in +2 inches, so it means he won't slow down, so you'll still get your full 10 inches out of him. Natural born warrior, which means all these martial arts guys are going to do nothing to him. It's just going to nullify all of that out. He's got shock immunity and crit immunity. Woo! Can't be crit. Super awesome. And with no wound incapacitation, so giving him 1.5 wounds. And inspiring leadership. As far as I'm still tracking, one of only 2 units in the entirety of Infinity that has inspiring leadership. And we need to go over inspiring leadership right quickly. So inspiring leadership turns all irregular orders into regular orders as long as he's still alive. Gives all of your units courage, and you can declare a coordinated order that includes the user, so William Wallace, by spending the special lieutenant order without the expenditure of command tokens or extra orders. So just using his order, coordinated order. That's fantastic. And the army is not affected by retreat, and retreat never happens. So as long as he's alive, to hell with your retreat. We don't stop. We're going to keep fighting to the very, very bloody end. All of this is so amazing. He is the frontline LT, and I love it, love it, love it. William Wallace is so amazing. He does have a non-lieutenant option, but don't bring it. No, you could, but you're not going to, because the Wallace lieutenant ties everything else together and makes it that much better. He comes with a T2 rifle +1 damage, a light shotgun and smoke grenades, a pistol, and an explosive close combat weapon for 35 points. And the Wallace Lieutenant can be a part of any fire team in this sectorial army. Not the regular Wallace, but the Wallace Lieutenant, which you're going to end up bringing Wallace Lieutenant anyway. You could, if you don't want to bring him, but you're going to be missing some punch from some of these other units, being able to turn them regular and not having to go into retreat. William Wallace just ties everything together, makes it that much better. I love, love, love William Wallace. And he's getting a new resculpt because Cosmoflot just got released. So if you don't already have him, he's getting a new resculpt, and I'm super excited about it. Moving on is Usha Cherry McNeil, Corporal of the 1st Highlanders SAS. She's a bad bitch. She is the named skirmisher of the sectorial, and she is also just so fantastic. Perfect for a big alpha strike. She's got 4-4 movement, 22 CC, 11 BS, 13 Fizz, 13 whip, no armor and no BTS, and 1 wound. So she's squishy like most skirmishers really are. She's got martial arts level 2, which martial arts level 2 is going to end up bagging her a +3 to you, -3, and a +1 damage. So that's 14 damage for her Fizz. She's got surprise attack -3 with the camo and mimetism as per normal with most surprise attack things. She already has courage. She's got dodge +2 inches. So again, not slowing down. She's going to get where she needs to go. She's got stealth, terrain total, frenzy. Frenzy is a big one here because when she does take a wound of one of the opponent's models, she's going to turn impetuous, and so she's no longer going to gain any amount of cover when she's out of camouflage state. So you're gonna need to be careful after she kills something, but she almost always kills something. But the big thing here is the infiltration +6. That's amazing. It's almost guaranteed that she's just gonna end up where you need her to be and be able to take out whatever you need her to take out. Now there are 2 profiles that come, and both are fantastic for different reasons. The first one is got a MSV1, the only MSV1 in the whole sectorial, boarding shotgun, grenades, smoke grenades, a pistol, and an AP close combat weapon for 26 points. That's great because she can pull out her own smoke trick, and especially with the boarding shotgun having the templates now, so she can throw smoke, move into close range, and then just spray you with the template option of the boarding shotgun. That's fantastic and wonderful. Her other option is a specialist operative that has a boarding shotgun, decharges instead of grenades, smoke grenades, and an assault pistol +1 burst AP close combat weapon for a point more. If you've got that extra point, you feel like you need to upgrade it, it really depends on the mission. You can't go wrong with either one of these options. Usha is just that good, and she's in every single list that I bring. She's also getting a new resculpt because Cosmoflot. Moving right along, we're going to talk about old McMurderface himself. Tirloch McMurra, mercenary dog warrior. This is his home sectorial. He is so good. So good. He's not the big McMurderface that he was just because of the changes to Berserk. Be rolling like a normal roll once you do Berserk, because Berserk's not a face-to-face, it's just a normal roll. He's no longer going to be hitting on 32s like he used to. So he's just going to be hitting on the 26s, which still isn't bad. It's just you're going to crit less, really. He is a regular, but because of Wallace that we've already talked about, he is now regular. He is still impetuous. He's got a 6-4 movement, 23 CC, 11 BS, 16 Fizz, 14 whip, 4 armor, and 3 BTS, 2 wounds. He does have martial arts level 3, so martial arts level 3 ends up giving him, so he's +3 and -3, but it gives him a +2 to his damage, so when he does hit you, it's going to be on damage 18. That's huge. That's huge, especially with the melee weapon that he does have, which we're going to go over. He's got regular Berserk. Why does he not have Berserk +3? Little upset about it, but I'll live. We'll all live. Courage, he's got dodge +2 inches. Again, will not slow down. He's going to get you where he needs to go. Total immunity, super jump, vulnerability to viral, so you will need to watch out, as with all dog warriors. Lasiques from Hak Islam, if you're playing other Ariadna. The Loop Gurus also have viral, and I think Muibs from Hak Islam a lot of Hak Islam has viral stuff. Ooh, and the Drew Shock Troopers also have the viral pistols, so you need to watch out for those. But he comes with a chain rifle +1 burst, so 2 chain rifles, grenades, smoke grenades, and an AP double action close combat weapon. So if you're hitting with that, I'm cutting the armor in half. You're making 2 rolls Damage 18. That's so amazing. And for only 27 points, that's a steal. That's a steal. McMurra is so good, still so deadly, and you're gonna want to bring him. He's not as must-have as he used to be, but he's still so amazing. And you're gonna want to get that model because McMurra is excellent. Moving right along, we got Kaden, First Strike Dawn, point man of the Grenadiers Regiment. Kaden is obviously from the Defiance that came out by Corvus Belli, so you can find his model there. He is a warband, but he is regular. He's got 4/4 movement, 23 CC, 12 BS, 14 Fizz, 13 Whip, and 3 armor, no BTS, but 2 wounds because he's a Wolver. We're going to talk about Wolvers. Wolvers are the real 2-wound HIs of Caledonia. Don't worry, we're going to talk about them. Let's go over Kaden. He's got Frenzy, which is cutting down his cost a little bit, and we've already talked about Frenzy, what that does. He does have Martial Arts level 2, which is really good. Making it damage is going to be 15. He's got close combat attack AP, so all close combat attacks are AP. He's got Berserk +3, meaning he's going to be hitting on 29s with that martial arts because he's getting a +3 to you, plus the +3 to Berserk. That's on 29s, it's almost can't miss, and that's beautiful and excellent. He's got Courage, Dodge +2 inches. Again, not slowing down. He's got Fire Team Duo, so he can duo with like most things, whatever's mostly going to be with another Wolver or another wild card. He's got Natural Born Warrior, so I can use my martial arts, but nobody else can use their martial arts, which is really handy when you're going up against other close combat oriented armies like Military Orders and JSA. And Climbing Plus. Climbing Plus is super good, being able to get him where he needs to go. Kaden is just on point. Perfect. The regular profile, they're exactly the same. Is a T2 rifle with grenades, a heavy pistol, and a T2 close combat weapon that is also AP because CC attack AP. So it's an AP T2 close combat weapon for 32 points. This is, so he's just a close combat specialist. A T2 rifle is nothing to sneeze at. A 12 BS is still pretty decent and par for the course for Caledonia and Ariadnan as a whole, but he's a close combat specialist and he's really good, and I love playing with Kaden, mostly in a Harris. He does have a Fire Team Harris option, which the Wolver Grenadiers also have Fire Team Harris themselves. I think it's just a kind of like a holdover from N3, but Kaden is fantastic on all fronts, and you should definitely be playing with him. And the last character that we're going to go over is Volunteer Intel Isabel McGregor, the dire foes of Caledonia. Oh, she is such a good Swiss Army knife toolbox unit that is a wild card. Because she's a wild card, she can cheapen Harris's or give the Volunteer Fire Corps team, which we're going to go over next, a better gunfighter. Comes with a hacking device, and she has Courage all by herself. She's 4/4 movement, 13 CC, 12 BS, 11 Fizz, 13 Whip, and 2 armor, no BTS, and 1 wound. She's such a good toolbox unit because she's got a T2 rifle. So T2 rifle, all the T2 in the world. Thank you, Caledonia. D-charges, EM mines, a flash pulse, and an assault pistol with a close combat weapon, 0.5 SWC, and 24 points. You're going to want that 24 points to either cheapen whatever Harris, because the Harris options are quite expensive in this army, or to just pump up your Volunteer Corps, giving them another gunfighter that's good. She's so good, and I've got her. I just need to paint her, really. I'm putting her in every army that I list with Caledonia that I can possibly make. She's so good now. And because Caledonia as a whole is the best on the offensive in the charge, there's not a whole lot of defensive weapons that aren't really expensive, or that you're not going to take like maybe one of, possibly two, that she's going to, in that core or in that Harris, move up, so the repeater is not that big of a deal as you might think it is. And because she's a specialist, she can push all the buttons. I love Isabel. Love it. An awesome looking model as well. All right, getting into the regular units, we're going to first talk about the 112, the lone doctor, the 112 emergency service, Dr. Fire Axe. He's not great, but he's not bad either. But he is the only doctor in the whole army. He's got 4-4 movement, 16 CC, 11 BS, 12 Fizz, 13 Whip, which is pretty decent for a doctor, would par for the course really. 0 armor, 0 BTS, and 1 wound, but you can take 2. You come in with a light shotgun, a pistol, and a close combat weapon. For the one that's walking, he's 12 points, but you can also, if you wanted to get a little bit of a faster specialist, you can bring the 112 emergency service motorized on his motorcycle that's bringing a smoke grenade launcher and an 8-4 movement because of the motorcycle. I like both. You could absolutely use both. The one on the motorcycle is 18 points, so if you want that fast specialist, definitely go with a motorized. If you want them to kind of sit in the back and take care of something else, a big ARO piece, which there's a couple, but there's not many, and be able to pick them up, you can absolutely do that as well. You really couldn't go wrong if you decided to bring a 112. If anything, it's an order filler if you end up never using him. Moving right along is the basic line infantry for Caledonia, which is the Caledonian Volunteer Corps. There are 8 profiles here. You're only going to be looking at like 3 of these, maybe 4, but really only 3 of these. Light infantry, the regular, 4-4 movement, 14 CC, 10 BS. Ooh, that's so bad. With 11 Fizz, 12 Whip, 1 armor, 1 wound. But they are availability total. You can bring as many of these guys as you want, and everybody is just really upset by them because they are home to the profile that you are going to see most often is the chain rifle, light shotgun, pistol, close combat weapon for 6 points. That's so good. That's so good. If you didn't bring them in a core, because they can fire team core, you can just line your back line with these because there's so many now parachutist deployment zone troops. You can just line your back line with these guys and hit them with their chain rifles, which is also really good. But I'm going to be bringing the core. The other volunteer that you're going to see probably most often is the volunteer paramedic, who comes with a rifle and a med kit. Yes, a whip 12 is not great, and especially with a BS 10, that's also not great, but he's 10 points. He's 2 points cheaper than Doctor, and he's linkable. So why not bring him? It's not going to hurt you for 2 points. And the third gray rifles, which we'll talk about, can be a part of any fire team of volunteers or Mormaers. So the old go-to was 1 Highlander gray and 4 volunteers. And that was just cheap as chips core because the grays were great and are great, fantastic gunfighters. It's gonna be see itself get bumped up a little bit more now because of Isabel, and I like to throw Wallace into that core as well, just so he can move up the field because he wants to move up the field. If you're gonna see any more, it possibly be the 2 camouflage 1-use infiltration options. One is the rifle with a D-charges, pistol, close combat weapon for 11 points, or a light shotgun and grenade launcher with a pistol and a close combat weapon for 1 SWC and 13 points. You can bring them if you want to. I've gotten a little bit of use out of the 11 point because, points-wise, and because of slots, because you only have 15 slots now with the tactical window. But it also helps out your other infiltrators because you'll be like, oh, what is it? Well, he's got a D-charge, so at least he's got an AP explosive close combat weapon that's with him with the D-charges, and especially with there being no negatives to it. If you were to get lucky and hit with your CC-14, you're doing good, man. You're doing really good. I like the volunteers, and I think you're going to end up bringing at least 2 to 3 in every single list. Moving right along is the Highlander Caterans. Now, this is the first normal non-character unit that is irregular you're going to see that's going to turn regular because of William Wallace. He's got a 4-4 movement, 22 CC, which That's really good. 12 BS, 13 Fizz, 12 Whip, no armor, and no BTS with 1 wound. Availability 4. You can bring 4 of these guys. These guys are snipers. They've got surprise attack, -3, camouflage, 1 use, but they also have mimetism, -3, stealth, and climbing plus. And the climbing plus is really interesting here because, so say you're in your deployment zone, you deployed, but you don't see a good spot to set up a lone sniper that could actually do work, but you see something just outside your deployment zone. With that climbing plus and keeping him in camo, he can go up to that building and be able to climb up there with much better efficiency to get that good fire lane that you want him to do. I love the Caterans. They're fantastic for what they do. The first option is a T2 sniper rifle with a pistol and an AP close combat weapon for 1 SWC and 23 points. That's so good because when he does hit, automatic 2 wounds because that's how T2 works. And it's so good. It's so fantastic. That'll just ruin somebody's day. A well-aimed Cateran T2 sniper rifle can at least really injure or make these big 2-wound HI models go NWI, if not outright kill them if they don't already have NWI. These really good, really good. If you're short for points and you really want to go with the regular sniper rifle for half an SWC and 21 points, you can, but you're most likely going to make it try to work some things around and bring the T2 sniper rifle. 1 is good, 2 is better. If you can bring 3 without sacrificing anything else, bring 3. You can't go wrong. You cannot go wrong bringing a Highlander Cateran. Moving on, we're going to our lone medium infantry of the group, and that is the Scots Guard, 6th Caledonian Infantry Regiment. The Scots Guards have gotten so good, so amazing. Also with them, and we're going back to the Caterans, also getting new resculpts because of Cosmoflot. These guys are regular with 4-4 movement, upgraded, 16 CC, 12 BS, 12 Fizz, 13 Whip, 3 armor, no BTS, 1 wound, availability 5. They all got courage. They've all got Fireteam Duo. They've all got Fireteam Harris. Yes, they got Harris. So happy. All got mimetism -3, stealth, total terrain, and Fireteam Core. Oh, the Scots Guards would just be begging for a Harris, and they got a Harris. And they really shine in Caledonia. So there's 2 different battalions here. They all bring the exact same thing except for 2 profiles or FOs, and then the other 2 are not. But you have your 1st battalion, which are not camoed. The other profiles are camouflage with surprise attack. So obviously the camo ones be part of any fire team, but the 1st battalion guys can. So we're going to go over all of that right quick. So starting with the 1st battalion, you've got an AP Spitfire with a pistol and a close combat weapon, 1.5 SWC, and 30 points. Yes, I know that sounds very expensive, and it is very expensive considering other medium infantry, but they're 4-4 moving, they got mimetism, they got terrain total, you can Harris, you can duo, they already come with courage. You'll be fine, I promise. They're worth their weight. They are definitely worth their weight in their points, and they'll end up killing at least making up for the points that you spent on them. Another one is the missile launcher with an assault pistol and a close combat weapon, 1.5 SWC, and again, 30 points. Heck yeah, that's awesome. Same thing as a Spitfire, and being able to put these guys in a Harris and shoot 2 missile launchers. Yes, please. You do have the Scott 1st Battalion Lieutenant with a shock marksman rifle and a pistol and close combat weapon for 25 points. You're not going to end up bringing the Lieutenant, so just don't worry about him. The other 2 profiles are both forward observers, and both have NCO, which is fantastic. The first one is a shock marksman rifle with a flash pulse pistol close combat weapon for 28 points. The other is a submachine gun +1 burst with a Panzerfaust flash pulse and D charges pistol, and a close combat weapon for 25 points. You can bring the shock marksman rifle if you want to. I like having all the different options, so I like the 25-point submachine gun, +1 burst, Panzerfaust, flash pulse, and D-charges. That's just my recommendation. You do whatever you feel like and whatever your points allow, man. I think it's great. And they all have for the 2nd Battalion guys, yes, they all have surprise attack and all have camouflage. The marksman rifle and the submachine gun both still have NCO. They're just not forward observers. But so you still got like the shock marksman rifle is 30 points, so now the same price as your Spitfire and missile launcher from 1st Battalion. The submachine gun Panzerfaust D-charges from 2nd Battalion is 29 points, 1 point less. Then you have the Spitfire and missile launcher both at 1.5 SWC and 35 points. All of these are really, really good options to use. And I like bringing a missile launcher and the 2 Caterans because if something's camo in your deployment zone, most people that you're playing against will be like, oh, it's a Cateran. Oh, I can deal with a Cateran. And then you surprise them and be like, oh no, it's a Scots missile launcher. I hope you're not in a Harris, bub. Shit's going down. That's always a little fun trick to play. I love the Scots Guards. I think they've gotten so much better. Yes, they are expensive for what they are, but you'll get over it. I promise that you will. They're really good, and they really do shine in Caledonia. Moving right along, we're going to go to the 3rd Highlander Grey Rifles. This is going to be your main beat stick in that volunteer corps. They are heavy infantry. They are regular with 6'2 movement. Yes! Give me all that aggressive movement. 21 CC, 13 BS, 13 Fizz, 12 whip, 3 armor, no BTS, and 1 wound, but you can bring 5. So you got a BS attack +1 damage, courage, fireteam Harris. These guys can Harris all on their own, which makes a very aggressive Harris. Their points are being cut down because of frenzy. They do have shock immunity, and they have dogged and fireteam core. Dogged, they're just going to fight to the very bloody end. I'm super excited about the 3rd Highlander Grey Rifles. Now, I can hear everybody in the comments of all of you guys that have played it before, but the Highlander Grey lost the AP heavy machine gun. It's just a regular heavy machine gun now. Yeah, I hear you, and yeah, I was a little salty at first too. However, the special fire team rule is 3rd Highlander can be any part of any fire team of volunteers or Mormaers. So now I have more flexibility. I don't just have to bring 1 in that volunteer corps. I can bring 2 if I want to, or I can put 2 into the Mormaer Harris, which we're going to talk about next, and make it even cheaper. Just me personally, they lost the AP heavy machine gun. However, you've got more flexibility, so trading the AP for the flexibility and good gunfighters, I think, is better. That's just me. I'm sure I'm going to get flack for it in the comments, but I'm liking the 3rd Highlander Grey Rifles. Going over their profiles, the first one is a T2 rifle with a light shotgun +1 burst, grenades, smoke grenades, a pistol, and an AP close combat weapon for 25 points. For 25 points, and you get all of that with a T2 rifle doing 14 damage because of the BS attack +1 damage. That's awesome. Having 2 light shotgun bursts on damage 14, that's also really awesome. I love it. It makes me so happy. The next profile is the heavy machine gun. Yes, I know he doesn't have AP. With smoke grenades, a pistol, and an AP close combat weapon, 1.5 SWC, and 28 points. And 28 points. So let's just go over this just right quickly. So if you brought the heavy machine gun for 28 points and do what I was telling you to do, bring 1 chain rifle volunteer and a paramedic volunteer with Isabel and Wallace, lieutenant. That's a core, and that is a good, cheap core for 103 points and 2 SWC. That's so cheap, so good. I love it. It makes me so happy that you can still do so much work with these guys. Or you can bring a Harris, and that's a really cheap Harris. You can bring 2 heavy machine guns in that Harris. It's so good. It's so amazing. The last profile we're going to go over for the Greys is the T2 boarding shotgun. The only other T2 boarding shotgun in the entire game is Veronin Intact. 3rd Highlander Grey Rifle gets the other T2 boarding shotgun with grenades, smoke grenades, and D-charges with a pistol and an AP close combat weapon for only 20 points. That's incredible. That's incredible. Being able to even put the T2 boarding shotgun and the heavy machine gun in that volunteer corps. It's still really cheap. It's still really cheap. Or when we get to the Mormaers, cheapening it even more. The T2 boarding shotgun is, I think that's the two that you're going to see is the heavy machine gun and the T2 boarding shotgun the most. These guys are a little bit harder to find because they are out of production, so you're going to need to grab them while you can still find them. Moving right along is the Caledonian Mormaers. The Mormaers are the quintessential glass cannons because when they hit, oh my God, do they hit like a freaking truck. They are heavy infantry, they are regular. 4-4 movement, thank you. 17cc, 13 BS, 13 Fizz, 13 Whip, 5 armor. 5 armor, that's crazy. 0 BTS, 1 wound, and you can bring 3. They've got BS attack plus 2 damage. BS attack AP. Everything is AP. They have courage. Fireteam Duo, Fireteam Harris, and whoa, what's that? Critical immunity? Oh, it's amazing! Bagpipes playing in the background. It is awesome! With shock immunity and dogged. So yeah, they didn't get the NWI like all the other HI that you've seen in other sectorial overviews that we've done or other armies. They just got dogged. They didn't get that NWI, but it's on par with what they are, and it fits into the glass cannon theme that is Caledonia. But all these profiles are fantastic. Fantastic. You basically have a set of 2 profiles here. So you have the 2 profiles, and then you've got 2 other profiles that are also lieutenant profiles, which you can absolutely use if you want to. But going over to the first one is a Caledonian Mormaer with NCO and an X-Visor. Oh my God. With a T2 rifle, a chain colt, a heavy pistol, and an AP close combat weapon for the low price of 36 points. So I'm just going to tell you, this is the closest that you're ever going to get to a T2 heavy machine gun, because a T2 rifle does 13 damage. Oh, but wait, BS attack plus 2 damage. Oh, it's also AP. So it is essentially an AP T2 heavy machine gun minus 1 burst. So you're only getting 4 shots with an X-Visor. With that X-Visor, it's going to be shooting out to 32 inches on zeros. So on 13s before negatives, that's an AP T2 4-shot rifle on an X-Visor. That's a ton. Not to mention AP chain colt. That's a damage 15 chain colt. The heavy pistol is AP shock. Damage 16 in burst mode. It's so amazing. So amazing. I love this profile. And the other profile is the heavy machine gun, AP heavy machine gun, with a chain colt, heavy pistol, AP close combat weapon, 1.5 SWC, and 40 points. That is a damage 17 AP heavy machine gun. That's insane. That is insane, and I love it, and it makes me so happy. And having recently played with a Harris with the Caledonian Mormaers, I had the AP HMG, I threw in Kaden and the Highlander Grey T2 boarding shotgun. That Harris does work. It does so much work. It's so high-powered, because when this Mormaer hits, Because, yes, any negatives are really going to, like, you start to get into mimetism and camo and all the other funky things that everybody else can do, all the other sectorials and other armies can do. He's going to struggle a little bit, but boy, when he hits, something's going down and going down for the count, because that's a lot. That's a lot. Either taking things completely off the board or doing wounds. And it's fantastic. Caledonian Mormaers for the win. Gotten so incredibly good. Moving on is our lone skirmisher, the SAS, 1st Highlander SAS. These guys are fantastic, and with the points reduction has been just, I'm over the moon happy. Oh, but wait, there's more. They're getting a resculpt because Cosmoflot. I'm going to be saying that a lot. They are regular with 4-4 movement, 22 CC, yoo-hoo! 11 BS, 13 Fizz, 13 Whip, no armor, no BTS, and 1 wound. You bring 4. They have, obviously, the surprise attack -3, the camouflage, the mimetism -3, and the infiltration. We got that. But martial arts, level 2. That's awesome. They have courage. They've got dodge +1 inch. So they're not quite as dodgy as everybody is, so they will slow down a little bit on that dodge. But they do have terrain total and stealth. I forgot to go over stealth. These guys are so good at good close combat pieces. And with their weapons, it's all short range weaponry. So if you get within 8 inches of these guys, they're going to freaking hurt you. They are going to hurt you. We're not going to go over every profile here. The ones that you're going to see most of is obviously going to be the forward observers with a chain rifle, light shotgun, flash pulse, and decharges with a pistol, an AP plus shock close combat weapon for 21 points. That's amazing gold. That's what that is. I'm so happy about it. They also have a SAS specialist operative with a boarding shotgun, a pistol, and an AP plus shot close combat weapon for 26 points. Is good, and can press buttons if you want another button presser. I would just bring the forward observer, to be completely honest with you, though. I don't want that option to be like, do I want a template or do I not want to not? I want the big template. I want the chain rifle. The other one that you're going to see most of is the legendary Crap SAS, which Crap is chain rifle and assault pistol. Love it. Amazing close range fighter that will just mess you up. He's got a chain rifle, he's got grenades, an assault pistol, and his AP plus shot close combat weapon, also for 21 points. That's so good, so deadly. The Highlander SAS are fantastic. Fantastic. You'll at least bring 2 in every single list, if not 3, just to bring the Crap SAS. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Moving on is we're getting into our war bands. Yes. First up is the 9th Wolver Grenadiers. Oh, yes. So we'd already went over Kaden, so they're going to have a lot of the same stuff, but we're going to go over them. They are regular. 4-4 movement, 23 CC, 12 BS, 14 Fizz, 13 Whip, 3 armor, no BTS, 2 wounds. These are your 2 wound HI. Yes, they are actually war bands, but it doesn't matter. If you bring them in a Harris or if you bring them in a really heavy core, they're going to do all that work for you because they're not slouches by any means. Yes, they're more catered to close combat, but it's still so incredibly good. So incredibly good. That is the pain train. That is your pain train for Caledonia. They've all got martial arts level 1. They've all got CC attack +1 damage, which makes it 15 damage. They've all got berserk +3, courage, dodge 1 inch, so they will slow down on that dodge. They all got Fireteam Harris. Their costs are being cut down because of Frenzy, but you're going to bring them in a Fireteam anyway, so Frenzy is not going to really bother you so much. With Natural Born Warrior, to hell with all your martial arts. I'm just going to beat you. They do have Shock Immunity, Climbing Plus, and Fireteam Core. You can't go wrong with any of these profiles, but the 2 that you're going to see most of is the heavy shotgun with grenades a pistol, and an AP plus shot close combat weapon for 28 points because of points and because heavy shotgun. Why would you not? Because heavy shotgun is amazing because it's already AP in hit mode. Yes, please. Heck yes. I love it. The other one that you're going to see is the new and improved Wolver with an AP Spitfire, grenades, a pistol, and AP plus shock close combat weapon, 1 SWC, and 36 points. That's your point, man, for that Harris or that duo. It doesn't matter. You're gonna bring that AP Spitfire because why wouldn't you? So good. It's so good. 5 shots, AP Spitfire. That's incredible. Incredible and amazing, and I love it. Love it, love it, love it. The Wolvers are fantastic. They're perfect. Don't ever change. They are, unfortunately, out of production with Caledonia being OOP, so pick them up if you see them. Moving right along is our other dog faces. Yes, I'm talking about the 2nd Irregular Cameronian Regiment, who are irregular and impetuous, but wait, we have Wallace. They are now regular and impetuous, a regular dog warrior, and in my opinion, the best dog warriors. Because if you looked at all of the dog warriors in all of Ariadnan, they all have something a little bit different that sets them apart from each other. This one has courage, total immunity, super jump, vulnerability, viral, and impetuous as per the rest of them. However, the Cameronians have natural born warrior. Cameronians have natural born warrior, which is sometimes going to be better than bringing McMurra because if you're facing off against heavy martial arts and they happen to -3 you, no. I can just take away your martial arts and I'm hitting on 23s, which could be better, could be worse than what you're doing, but you're not going to get that edge. So it will depend on the situation and what you think that you're going to go up against. But the Cameronians are hardcore awesome. They've got 6'4 movement, as said, 23 CC, 10 BS, 16 Fizz, 12 Whip, 4 armor, no BTS, and 2 wounds. You can bring 3 of these guys. So you can have a grand total with McMurra and 3 Cameronians, 4 dogs just running up the field. And for those of you that have never tried it, if you bring McMurra and 3 Cameronians and you're going first and you're running up the field, all you're going to hear is that's your opponent's butthole puckering because they don't want to deal with it. And they are not going to know what to do. And it's hilarious. It's absolutely incredible, hilarious. They come with what every dog face always comes with, a chain rifle plus 1 burst, so 2 chain rifles, grenades, smoke grenades, and an AP close combat weapon. But he's only 20 points. He's only 20 points. That's incredibly amazing, and I love it. It makes me so happy. I love the Cameronians. You need to go pick them up right now if you're feeling like playing Caledonia. You're starting your army. You need to go pick them up. So excited to put these guys on the table. And last but certainly not least, my favorite models in the entire army, in the entirety of Infinity, these are my favorite units, is the 45th Highlander Rifles, Galwegians. The Galwegians are fantastic, and I have uncanny, amazing luck with the Galwegians killing things that they shouldn't be killing, but they do. They are irregular and impetuous, but no, we have Wallace, so they are regular units with 4-4 movement, 21 CC, 10 BS, 14 Fizz, 14 Whip, 1 armor, no BTS, and 1 wound. And availability total. Bring as many as you want, as long as you stay within the 15 order pool, obviously. There's only one profile that you're ever going to see, and I'm being honest with you. I have never, ever, ever, ever brought the other 2 profiles. The one that you're going to bring is the chain rifle with smoke grenades, pistol, AP close combat weapon for the low, astronomically low price of 5 points. 5 points. You get all of those stats with a chain rifle, smoke grenades, pistol, AP close combat weapon for 5 points that also have dogged, courage, and berserk +3. So hitting on 24s, moving the full 8 inches on a whole order, and beating somebody's face in. I'm telling you, 14 whip doing an intuitive attack with their chain rifle, even if they get within 8 inches, anything, even camo markers get within 8 inches of these guys, they might as well be a cat in a bag good for drowning. That's how deadly they really are. That is so good. That is so good. And I love the Galwegians. Absolutely adore them. You can core these guys with 4 Galwegians and William Wallace Lieutenant, and I have absolutely seen that work because you can bring Lieutenant and 4 Galwegians, put them all in a core, and you can just kind of castle Wallace up so he can't be hit or taken out, so all of your irregular orders stay regular, and because no retreat, because we're Highlanders, we don't frickin' retreat. Hell no. Hell no. And let the rest of your army do the work with now a high-powered Harris with all of your awesome Harris options or duo options. Caledonia, these guys are at their best, as I said at the beginning of this video, on the charge. You want to move up with them always, constantly. They're not for tricky maneuvering. They're not for, oh, I'm just going to get in a better position. Their sweet spot is 16 inches and down. 16 inches and down. If you can get within 16 inches, 9 times out of 10, you're going to win the fight. And so these guys do extremely well in missions like Biotechivore. Everybody hates Biotechivore, but these guys do so good because they're so fast and they want to move up and get you in that close proximity. They're going to do damage. They're going to do damage. I love Caledonia. I love all of the changes. I'm ecstatic to put these guys back on the table. If you did like the video, make sure you hit that thumbs up and subscribe and hit that bell icon so when we put new stuff out, you're the first guys to know about it. And we're so excited to give you all of this information and our views. Let me know down in the comments. I hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. We'll see you next time.